Kenzie K with B96. We are so excited. An amazing guest in studio, in person, no screen glitching. Incredible songwriter, amazing voice, Gayle. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Not that you would 100% remember, but I did get to interview you about a month ago via a screen.
I feel like I complimented your makeup. Yes,
you did.
I did. No, it's always on point. I noticed.
And I'm so
I see you.
Bad at it. So
no, you're not. It looks
good.
so good. I see the shimmer. I see the eyeliner shape. I see the lashes. I see it. I know.
I appreciate it. And like I see you. I'm always trying to match, your energy.
Oh my gosh, I literally did this in 10 minutes.
Well, don't brag. You don't have to come in here.
No. I did it it was so trashy. It was so bad. So.
No, you look stunning. And I told you Chicago would love you, and you sold out 2 shows.
Yes,
2 of them.
Yes. Oh, crazy.
And one was last night.
Yes, one was last night.
How was it? How did it go?
It was so fun. I had a really good time. Everybody was super hype. Like I love Nashville. It's great. But like when or like even LA, like when you're in music hubs, sometimes there's people that are just like, that song's in the same key as the other one.
Oh.
Those chords could have been better. 6 months ago I wrote a song that was better than that, Yes. And so when it's like people that are just like there to have a good time and there to be hype, it's really, really fun and exciting.
We just accept you as you are. We don't even know if it's out of key. We're like, this is amazing.
No, it's fun. I'm like, and no, literally in the other shows, I'm like, ignore it. Shh, I know. Trust me, I know.
Anything from that show that you're like, okay, tonight I'm going to do that better or change that? Or are you taking anything from last night's show?
My guitar stopped working halfway through the set, so I'd probably change that. It was great. In my in-ears, the audio would cut out for probably around 3 seconds. So all of a sudden, it would just be like silence. It'd be for all of us. It'd be for and so most of the time there's like a click, and it's for everybody. It's for like the drummer, it's for the utility player, it's for me. And so when it cuts out, we have to stay on click with no click and just like hope everything's gonna be okay. So there's times we're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah, it was very chaotic, but I really, really enjoyed myself. So.
I feel like Billy does something kind of like what you just said, where maybe she's just taking advantage of that pause, because she'll be like, everyone in the crowd breathe. And she calms everyone out. So you can always, if you get off click, you could be like, and we're meditating.
Yeah. For a solid like 4 seconds, we're just going to have a little pause, little mental break. Yeah.
And you'll be back very soon, because you're going to be at Lollapalooza.
Oh my gosh. Crazy, insane.
I could totally be wrong. Is this your first music festival? Will Lolla be your first?
It will be my first time playing. I went to Bonnaroo in 2018.
Like to party?
To part. I mean, I was a volunteer. Actually, there's this nonprofit organization, Notes for Notes. They give free studio time to kids underage. They put like studios in Boys and Girls Clubs. I was a Boys and Girls Club member. Notes for Notes took me to Bonnaroo backstage, and it was a lot of fun. I had such a great time. So Bonnaroo goes around my birthday, and so I was just turning 14. I believe I was 13 at the time, and I was so stoked. I was very excited. So I think it was 2018.
Your young life has just been phenomenal. Like every year, like when I was 7, I'm always like, oh my God, your life's just been incredible, because you're not even 18 yet, right?
I'm not. I turned 18 in a couple months. Hey, Jack Harlow.
Oh
June
my
10th.
God. I knew that was coming.
June
I
10th.
wondered. That has to be a record for how early he's been brought up in an interview with you, though.
I think so, yeah. I think it's the earliest it's been. Like, hey.
Now, I love your EP, A Study of the Human Experience. I don't want to mess it up. It's long, and I'm going to look at it.
I mess it up all the time. It's so bad.
Volume 1, which I found interesting. Are you just going to like keep adding? Is that why you did that?
I will definitely be adding. Whether I'll be like keep adding, probably not. Who knows? Maybe I might switch it up and say F it. I've censored myself. I did it. I managed. But yeah, the goal is for there to be another addition to the project. So.
But we're excited about this one. I'm not trying to already pressure you to like bring us another baby. I know that's annoying.
I'm working on it though.
I loved the title. The one that stood out for me was like Sleeping with Friends. The second I saw that, I was like, I had to listen to it first. Like I jumped. I listened to it first.
Yeah.
And like, okay, not to be too personal on you, but I feel like you're very open. How many times did that happen where you're like, you know what, this has to stop. I have gone too far.
Let me do some quick math. We got 1, probably like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, it was like, I don't know. I like hooked up with this one person, and then I hooked up with somebody else, and then I did that a couple of times, and then there's another person, and I guess like it was one of those things where like there's one specific moment where like we both like looked at each other, because we were both being very self-destructive at the time, and we both looked at each other and we're like, what are we doing? Like what? Like it was a friend of mine, and like it was the first time we were ever like, we always hung out in a group, and it was the first time we were like alone in a room together, and it was like, why? It was never like this. Like why are we like, no, like that's weird. Like why can't we just be like platonic with each other? And I guess that was a moment where I was like, wow, I don't know how to have male platonic friendships sometimes, and I figured it out. You know, I'm not perfect, but there's definitely a few guy friends of mine that I'm like, okay. But there's also one specific instance where like they just started treating me differently afterwards. Like we slept together, and I just like really, I don't know, like I really thought it was like my fault. I was like, I should have had the self-control to not do that. Like I should have known that this was going to mess our friendship up. And also like in my opinion, there's a difference between like having a friends with benefits. Like there's one thing when you have like a conversation where you're like, hey, you're kind of sexy. You know, wanna
dress it specifically.
Yeah, like, and you're like, if you have the conversation of like, we can keep this casual, have a little fun, or even like somebody you just kind of meet and you're like, you're attractive, but I don't really want anything right now, so if we can have fun for a little bit and just be like friends, that's one thing. But when it's like you're friends with somebody for 5 years and you never saw them in a sexual way, and even like sometimes you're like, are they cute? And you're like, no. And then like, or if like, you know, like, would I let them see me naked? And I'm like, that'd be weird. And then one night you just like do it with like, you always never saw them in that way. That'd be so weird. And then you just do it, and then it's like, why did I do that, you know? And then they started treating me differently afterwards, and I was like, I ruined our friendship, you know, all of these things. And that was like with my friends. And then I actually kind of like switched my perspective on it with You're Just Horny, because then I also realized like, oh, they just wanted to sleep with me the whole entire time. Like they actually just wanted to get into my pants, and so they put on an act, and all of the things that made me feel comfortable enough to even sleep with them in the first place was literally just an act to get into my pants. And then once they got what they wanted, I was less interesting to them, and that's why they started treating me differently. And for some of those situations, that wasn't true. It was just like things happen, you know. But there's one person where I was like, oh no, you just wanted this from me the whole time.
Well, I think it's tricky because we expect that. I think girls expect that from guys like automatically, but then when you start a friendship, you start to twist that they're not trying to do that with you.
That it's not. I also like, I never want to think that somebody I'm not going to be like, they think I'm hot. I don't think I'm hot. Why am I going to think anybody else is going to think I'm attractive?
That,
you know,
I don't tell people they're wrong very often, but you're hot, so you're just wrong.
Appreciate
I'm just going to say that.
But like, yeah, I'm working on it. Like, I'm not saying it's like a bad thing to like think you're attractive, and like you can think you're attractive without thinking you're more attractive than other people, you know. But like, I'm a teenage girl. I'm not looking in the mirror every day being like, beautiful, magnificent, thank God I'm me. Like, no. You know. And so the last thing I'm gonna think is like, they think I'm hot, they definitely want to sleep with me. I then do it, and I'm like, that was really weird, that was random, I didn't see that one coming. And then I'm like, oh, it took me a minute to reach that point, because I was never coming from this place of like, they wanted me so bad, you know. I then was able to just like talk it through with the best friend and like look at their behavior and be like, oh, that's what that was.
Now, when your mom sees all these titles like on your EP, is she just so used to it, or is it like, what is the reaction when she sees like sleeping with friends? Well, you're just horny, like all just in a row.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to have the older brother that I do, because he was a tyrant. Like, he was just like, if you think I'm bad, he was just like worse. You know, like he was like, you know, even like with cursing, he was the first one to curse like a sailor. And my mother was like, stop. And then he's like, what are you going to do about it? Like, that was terrifying to me. That was the last thing I would ever say to my mother. And like, there's just specific rules that we had in the family that he just did not obey in any way, and he got away with it. And then I was like, wait a minute, I like this. And we started becoming friends, and then my poor mother just had to deal with the both of us. So she's gotten used to it. Thankfully my brother warmed her up for me to come in and just be like, I'm the saint.
It's like, you're easy, it's whatever.
I'm the easy one. I'm nice about it. I'm like, hey mom, just so you know, like, it's really important to me that I talk about this. My brother would just be like, I did it, what are you gonna do about it? How are you gonna punish me? What are you gonna do? Oh no, you're gonna take away my phone? Oh no, I'm so sad. Like,
I'm uncomfortable. No, and I'm not even around. No, you're like, just acting.
I could never. The way he knows how to push my mother's buttons and like just does it like willingly, that's terrifying to me.
I wouldn't be here today if I said it.
No,
my mama.
Exactly. Like, no.
Now I do need your help.
Chromesthesia.
Chromesthesia.
All good.
I practiced 5 times. I can't. I practiced chromesthesia, and I spelled it phonetically, and I don't even know. I don't know why I still couldn't do it. I'm curious because you can do songs even that you didn't write.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I throw a few songs at you, can you tell me what color they are?
Yeah.
Okay. And just to clarify it, because I watched a million things on you. So you associate, for anybody watching, you associate songs with colors like immediately.
Yeah. Sometimes I see it, but I don't know it. I'm like, what is that? And then I'm like, oh, it's like green. Like sometimes it takes a second, but yeah, there's always something.
I love that.
There's something brewing. I don't know. Like, there's always something going up there, you know.
And like all these songs popped in my head because like I desperately then wanted to know like the colors of songs.
And like I don't know, like sometimes like I gaslight myself, so I'm like sometimes I'm like maybe I like see the single cover for a split second and then my brain just like goes to that. I don't know, or like maybe it's because like I don't know, it's just like I always have a color to something, and sometimes it matches like the single covers like what the color of the song is, and then sometimes it's like completely different.
Well, some things are vibes, like if it's fiery or so, you know. So that's
I feel like also the emotion of the song affects the color of it as well.
Okay, I need to find out. So Call Me Maybe, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Pink.
Ooh. See, yeah, I can see that. Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the Jungle. Green. Jungle.
Green. See, I wouldn't have pitched green. Okay. My guess, because I don't have it, but my guess wouldn't have been green. Doja Cat Woman.
Maybe purple.
Purple. Bad and Bougie, the Migos.
Red.
Red? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have guessed that. And I think that single color is blue, so you're not doing that. Okay. And Friday, Jessica Black.
Oh my gosh. Yellow.
Yellow?
Yeah. It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Yeah, that's yellow.
See, sure. And my theory was, in case you just picked colors in people's name, you're like, oh, it's black. I'm like, but okay, yellow. Perfect. Okay, now I know. And then you've done this once before with me, so Kenzie's Quickies.
Okay, yeah.
It's rapid fire. And I have to quote you because I love your quotes. You said, you came out of the womb horny. So... I have to make sure I get it right. I want to know, have you ever said something in an interview? Not that you should be embarrassed by that. Mm-hmm. I just love that quote. Have you ever said something in an interview where you're like, I shouldn't have done that?
There's one time, I need to stop talking about this, but there's one time when I was on Jimmy Fallon. Crazy. I was on the couch and I said the sentence, my mother has a really bad gag reflex. And talking about my mother's gag reflex on television, my brother's frat really loved that one. That was a good time. Got a lot. There's a lot going on in that group chat.
Oh no! At least you didn't say she like doesn't have a gag reflex.
Yeah, imagine that. It's actually great.
They're like, we'll avoid her. Weirdest concept you've ever had for a song?
Ooh, weirdest concept. There's a song I wanted to write. I haven't written it, but like Sugar Cookie was one I wanted to write. There's a song called Strawberry Lemonade I wrote. I really like that one. Green Apple. I did like a lot of fruits at one point. Like I was just
fruit phase. Were they like analogies for something?
Yeah. Green Apple was like thought I was tasting. Oh, there's one song I wrote called Cecilia, and it was like the metaphor was like it was basically like after a breakup, and like for me, I'm the type of person where there's always like something about them that I miss. I feel like, yeah, like you miss something about somebody after a breakup. And so I wanted to write a song about me missing the taste of my ex's like chapstick, but then it ended up being another girl's. Like I used to think that I missed the taste of your chapstick, but it was really Cecilia's, you know.
I would like to hear that.
I want to put it out.
Would you release that?
No, I want to put it out at some point. Yeah.
That's really great.
Thank you. I wrote that song like, gosh, I wrote like a chunk of songs when I wrote Kiddie Pool. It was like Cecilia, and I wrote a song called Gabby, and all of the fruit songs and Kiddie Pool, and because when I did Orange Peel, I released a song called Orange Peel, and so then I started with like Strawberry Lemonade, and wrote a song called Cherry, then renamed it Cecilia, and like, yeah, did a bunch of different fruit stuff.
I love that. I really want to hear that song. We need a fruity album.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Album.
One of my friends was like, I should put out an EP called Produce, and then have all of the fruit songs. Who knows? Maybe.
And they all go with colors.
Yeah,
oh my god! I need this to happen. Now, in a world full of influencers, okay, that's what's happening right now. What do you think would be the perfect product or company for you to be like a brand ambassador for? What are you like? That's
ambassador for? I don't. There's a bunch of different stuff. I mean, like, I would love to make my own pair of like Doc Martens or something. Like, I feel like that'd be really cool. I really like these like legging things. I would love to be able to like make my own like designs and patterns. That'd be really exciting.
What would you add? What would you add to your fishnets?
I would put like flowers, or even like polka dots or plaid or something. Like, even if this was like plaid, or like making them different colors, and then even like putting them to the songs. I really want to come out with my own swatch book. So, and like that can go to like paints and notebooks and stuff. So like if there's like ABC red, that you know, and then I have my own designed red, and it's this little swatch book. And then maybe, I love notebooks, I'm obsessed with notebooks, so maybe like making the swatch book into a notebook, and like trying all of that different type of stuff, like stuff with colors. I really love clothes. Yeah, and just like that would
I
be
feel
fun.
like you'd have such a like music festival line, like
Oh
with
my
like
gosh.
those, like you would
so
own,
fun.
you would like own Coachella, you'd own all of them. Like, we're
It'd be
wearing
crazy.
Gayle.
Oh my god, that'd be insane. It would be fun. Maybe one day.
It would be very fun. Let me know. I'll wear them. Just hit me up. Now, based on some of your songs, I started to wonder, do you feel like guys and girls can just be friends?
Yeah. No, I think it's possible. I think the thing that I'm not the only one talking about this. I think some things that I didn't realize that I feel like people go through is differentiating platonic, sexual, and romantic feelings, and comparing on like what type of relationship dynamic your parents have affect your platonic relationships with the opposite sex. You know, like for me, I had issues with my father, and I never really had a man treat me well that wasn't in a romantic or sexual sense. And so I cannot take like male affection or relationships without at times taking it as like sexual or romantic. I had a brother, he's great, and now he was really great, but when I was younger he was so mean to me, as older brothers are, you know. I'd never hold that against them, but because of that too, like sometimes if guys are like more rude to me, I don't always like see it right away as being rude, because I'm like, oh, they're just like being playful, and it's like, no, they're actually just not treating you well. And like, I can't see, there's a lot of stuff's going on with your moms. It can be hard to have like platonic relationships with women, or even just like being not competitive towards your female friends, and like all of those things as well. Like, it's hard to like have friendships, especially if you never had like good examples on how to like treat human beings well and respectfully, you know.
It gets complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated.
It gets complicated.
And it's hard.
Simple.
And it's also like being forgiving of yourself of not knowing how to handle that, because some things are just, you have cards against you sometimes, you know. You didn't have good examples. That's not your fault, and it's not even necessarily your parents' fault either, because they probably didn't have a good example. And like for me too, I want to break that cycle, and trying to figure out how, and like how I repeat my patterns with my male friends, and even sometimes my female friends as well, and like trying to figure out how to handle all of that, especially when you're growing up. Like, it's one thing when you're like young kids, and then you start growing up and people start getting attractive, and like figuring that out, it's all really confusing sometimes, and that's okay. You're
just very self-aware. And that's good. You're
you.
very self-aware.
Thank you.
And that's like a breath of fresh air. That's very nice.
I appreciate that.
Now, because you're so self-aware, what is the biggest red flag you've ever ignored?
Exes being crazy, not on, like if all of the exes are crazy, they're not. They're not. Like if every single one of them.
But like mine are, so what is...
Yeah. Like or even just like if they're crazy without seeing my part. Like one of my exes, not the best. But also like his behavior, I then like had my behavior, and we just had this cycle together, you know, and understanding my part that I played inside of the cycle, you know, like there's one person where he relied on me to make him happy when he couldn't even make himself happy, and I put my self-worth on making him happy. So I was good enough if I made him happy, but I wasn't if I couldn't, you know. So like if I made him happy, I was good enough, but if I didn't, I wasn't. And like I should have been able to know, that's not my job to always consistently be the thing that makes you happy and bring you happiness. Like you need to be able to have that on your own before you can rely or want anybody else to like bring you happiness. And it's not going to be consistent. You cannot rely on another human being to consistently make you happy, because you're going to get disappointed. It's just going to happen. Like people are going to disappoint you, and you have to be able to be with yourself and be like, how am I going to fix that? Or how am I going to self-soothe, you know?
I feel like I have to reanalyze some things. I'm going to have to go through some things tonight and tally it up.
And some people are just batshit crazy. My bad. But like some people are. But like when it's like every single, like one of my exes, all of his exes blocked him. I won't, all of them. Every single one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I blocked him after we broke up. And I was like, oh, I get it. Have you
ever had that moment where like then you wanted to add, like you used to like dislike the exes and now you kind of want to add all the exes?
Yeah, I'm like,
girl,
let's start a group
chat.
Here. Oh my gosh.
Let's get drinks.
I've done that once. Had the ex group chat. It was great. Had a great time.
It's the best.
It's the
no,
best.
Like kumbaya
it's
moment.
the best. Yeah, and also like I love having the ex circle, but then also being like really nice to the girlfriend as well. Just being like, one day you'll be here, but for now, enjoy yourself. I hope you're having a good time. Enjoy.
We'll meet up later.
Yeah, I'll see you in like 6 months. You'll know. But right now, have a good time.
All right, last one.
All right.
I know you're busy. Okay, so if you could have a quickie with anybody but me, because we're having
Jack
a blast.
Harlow. Sorry,
okay.
What? I'm the worst. I'm so sorry.
Twice.
Okay. I'll shut up.
Respectfully, Jack. Well, he's
respectfully.
single, so it's
Respectfully, consensually, all the things. Yes.
I'm not going to lie. A month ago, I asked something similar, and you said Pete Davidson.
Well, he's taken. And
okay.
like, here's the thing. Queen Kim, am I about to act like I'm better? I am not. Like, are we about to act like I can handle that competition? No. And I'm good with it. I hope they're happy. But if he's ever not
happy, if he ever goes through a cycle
he's ever
of
not happy,
self-discovering,
Kim Kardashian can go over to my house. That's what it is. There's an either or.
Jack Harlow's safe.
Yeah.
No, he's nobody's man yet, and I'm worried he's gonna date somebody that I'm a fan of, and then I'm gonna have to hate them both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a lot.
Yeah, I think for me it'll be a bit of hate and a bit of love. You know.
I hope it's you, because then I can deal.
Okay.
You know, then I can deal.
Yeah, I'll let you in on the deets. I'll let you know.
Well, congratulations again. 2 sold out shows in Chicago. I hope tonight goes amazing. I know last night did. And we'll see you again at Lollapalooza. Thank you so much for being here with us at B96.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and in person.